the low takes too long. The high, it'll warp your plastic.
Oh.
Then you're going to take spray starch. It does not matter. When I used to teach this, I would tell everyone to get the heavy duty, the extra crispy spray starch.
Mm-hmm.
Then I discovered that the regular spray starch worked absolutely just as well, and didn't make the fabric quite so stiff. So now I'm going to tell you can use any darn thing that's handy. Because it all works and it works well. And if your fabric's a little bit stiff, it's not the end of the world. It won't hurt anything. So the extra, the stiff or the extra crispy will work just fine. Either
Extra
one.
crispy.
Well, it is crispy.
It is crispy.
Goody. Okay. Then you're going to put the spray starch, just spray it into a little container.
Oh.
When my mom died, I found these in her china cupboard. There was a whole bunch of
salt cellars.
them. Well, and then you can just rest here. So it just works dandy.
So I need to go to an antique store and find a
Sure,
salt
I'll be
cellar.
They work
combing
great.
the antique store. And you're just rubbing that around.
I keep saying I would love to take a week off and just go to antique stores.
Oh, yeah, that's another problem of mine. Yeah.
And, there were some great ones in Salt Lake. They've all closed now. On 3rd
Really?
South,
Yeah.
there was some, Johnny Sweet pretty much had that whole block tied up, and he was doing a great job. And then, I don't know what happened. I think antiques kind of fell out of vogue, and
Yeah, that's too bad.
yeah, it is. Okay, so one of the wonderful things that I like about this tool is that beveled edge.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to take my finger and flip this. I'm going to let the iron do it for me. So we're going to do the points exactly the same way. Now, you're going to have to exercise some patience here, girls, because you have to give it long enough to dry. And I'm going to jack this up just a little tiny bit. But you're not going to burn your fingers. You're going to be just fine. Just let it dry long enough that it'll stay in place. The spray starch makes it so that it gives it an attitude of how to turn. So let me just hold this right
So
here.
that's in the place of the glue.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the thing that's nice is that there's no paper to remove. And that
You're
is...
gonna,
So
pull,
this
you're gonna pull the
plastic-
template out afterwards,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like
Oh.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
you
Because I'm
can-
trying to think how you're going to get it glued in and then...
You can
okay.
reuse these templates.
Uh-huh.
So if you've got a project where you've got an enormous amount of repetition, the same thing over and over and over, this is maybe something you want to look at. Because you don't have to make a separate template for each one of the ones you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So this works pretty well, you guys. I've just got to get this a little hotter because this is...
Yes, because my numbers for that countdown, I've got 2 1s and 2 2s, and then I've got,
Oh, yeah.
all the other numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That's on your
5 and
advent
6.
calendar?
Yeah.
Okay, Sherry, let me just tell you, I would not do that out of fabric.
Really?
Those advent calendars,
Well, it's not an advent. I mean, it's see, it's got a little metal frame. I wonder if there's another place that shows it better. There.
do you know she's local?
Is she?
Nancy Halverson.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's cute.
See, and they're quilt squares that you just change out that.
We have
quilt
this
square
book,
every
and I've
day.
never paid that much attention to
Oh,
it.
I love the art to heart stuff books.
Yeah.
I've got a ton of them.
Yeah, we've got some cute ones
Yeah.
downstairs. That's really very
Yeah,
cute.
see?
Okay,
Oh,
so
I really like that.
Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the little frame and stuff. and
she
I got
also
the
designs
buttons
some
and-
fabric lines.
Well, I wondered because, they use specific fabrics and they come out the same year the book does. And if you don't get the fabric at that point, you can't get it next year.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
You can't get it next month.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, now don't do this whole thing all at one time with the spray starch. And you can use a paintbrush to apply this, or you can use the Q-tip. Some people like a paintbrush, some people like the Q-tip. Just experiment and see. But you can see I'm letting the iron do the work for me. And that beveled edge is just a little slice of heaven. It's wonderful.
Okay.
But you do have to hold it down long enough. And sometimes that just will drive you to distraction. And I've got this super wet.
Yeah, but if your end result is easier.
Oh, This gets, well, last night I had to do 24 little hearts. They're only about this big. And 24 bigger ones. And I had them all done in about 3 hours.
Really?
And I'm using this method and this little iron. I love this little iron. This little iron is absolutely the best. And you'll see when we get down to this inside cleavage, it's a little piece of heaven. But get comfortable when you do this. Like I'm sitting on the sofa, I put a pillow right here so that this raises it up closer to, so that I'm not getting a sore neck.
Interesting.
Okay,
and then
now
what do you use for your? You've got to have something hard, obviously. I mean, do you use the ironing board? Or
no,
you
I have
use
I have just a little piece of particle board that I got at Home Depot out of their scrap, and I just covered it in a piece of batting and put a piece of fabric on top of it. And I didn't even use like staples or anything. I just set it on top. Then when it gets too stiff with the spray starch, I just chuck it and get another one.
Oh, there you go.
So you don't have to do fancy stuff. So I had a little pointy that was going to happen right there. I could see that. So I just put a little bit of spray starch on that to make it go bye-bye. And now I'm going to get down into this. This could be very problematic with this method, but this iron saves the day because of this beveled edge. And I love the fact that it's so flat. This is very easy to use. Try to train your hand to stay up here.
Oh, yeah.
But if you should slide it down, that guard is going to save you from misery. Okay, we're going to pull this side of the heart out of the way. And I'm going to get down in there with this little tool. And I'm only addressing 1 or 2 threads that I'm turning, but that's all you need.
So circles would be easier.
Oh, there's a better way to do circles. A much better way.
Oh, that's what I want.
All right, now I don't like that. So I'm just going to give it a little pat with this spray starch again and get in there. I had another lady that told me that she mixed starch up.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Like
yeah.
our grandmothers
yes,
did.
the old faultless.
And that it worked
starch.
really well. So if you want to try that, go for it. Okay, that's going to be fine, I can tell. So now I'll just finish this up. And then I'll show you how to pull the template plastic out. But this works really, really